I'm so excited to share my Grunt If You Understand vocabulary terminology series. Remember, these ideas are going to be comical, they're going to be playful, often absurd, and definitely fun, which is what makes them so memorable. Before we get started, a quick reminder that the Grunt If You Understand method of ballet training goes well beyond the vocabulary and terminology of dance. It's going to help dancers understand all of the mechanics of ballet technique, from the smallest details to the big picture. So you can find out more about that full program at gruntifyouunderstand.com. So let's get right into the Grunt If You Understand vocabulary terminology series. So what do crosses have to do with ballet? When you're teaching your students what en quoi means, you're going to explain to them that it means in a cross. Crisscross, in a cross, and you're going to tell them to visualize that cross on the floor. So when they're executing a series of, let's say, tendus, and your instructor tells you to do one tendu en quoi, that means you're doing one tendu in every direction of that cross. So, for example, if you were in first position and you're going to do that one tendu en quoi, you'll tendu tracing the top of the cross and tracing the side of the cross and tracing the back of the cross. But I always get to a point with the students where there's something a little confusing here. Most often working at the bar, you're not going to do the inside foot. I mean, yes, at the more advanced levels, you're going to have intricate combinations that use inside, outside. But at the beginner levels, we are working the leg that's away from the bar. So I get a little silly. I said, well, I don't know. That King Louis, when he was putting this vocabulary down with his buddy, maybe en quoi didn't mean literally in a cross. Perhaps it was a folded in half cross. So I tell my beginner students, kind of like a folded in half cross. So when you do that last tendu, you will repeat that side of the cross. So en quoi, in a cross, and we're going to do our exercise in each of those directions in that cross. Devant, the front of the cross, à la seconde, to the second position in that cross, or de côté, sideways along the line of that cross, derrière, to the back of that cross, and then we'll repeat this side of the cross. But either way, if you had a crayon or some paint on your feet and you did that tendu combination, by the time you were done, if you had used the inside leg as well, you would have a beautiful cross. And if you're using the outside leg, it'll be a folded in half cross. So what do crosses have to do with ballet? They're going to help us learn the terminology for executing a movement in all of the directions of a cross. En quoi.
Grunt if you understand.
Thank you for joining me for Grunt If You Understand's vocabulary and terminology series. I hope you'll check back as the library of visualizations expands.